Hello everyone, welcome to Narayana online classes. We are going to practice some basic questions from determinants, specifically on evaluation of determinant and some basic properties. Alright? Okay, let's start. First question. In a square matrix, the elements of a column are 2, 5k plus 1, 3 and cofactors of another column are 1 minus 5k, 2 and 4k minus 2. Then find k. Alright. So, what is happening here is that, let us say this square matrix be A11, A12, A13, A21, A22, sorry, A21, A22, A23, A31, A32 and A33. Okay. It is given that A11, let's say A11 is 2, A21, okay, is 5k plus 1, A31 is 3 and cofactors of another column. Okay, so if we take cofactors of other column, let's say second column, A21, sorry, not A21, A12. A12 is 1 minus 5k, A22 is 2, A32 is 4k minus 2. Alright, now do you recall any identity that connects these elements with these cofactors? So here it's very important for you to realize that whenever you multiply elements of any column or row, let's say column here, elements of any column with cofactors of elements in another column and add, you will always get 0. Okay, so this is a property that you have already studied. So we will say we know that A11 into A21, right? A11 into capital A21 plus A21 into capital A22 plus A31 into capital A, would it be A21? It should 1, 2, 2, 2 and 3, 2, right? So let us correct this. This should be 1, 2. So capital A12, capital A22 and capital A32, this is 0, right? Because elements of one column multiplied with cofactors of another column is 0. This is an identity we know, which means now you multiply this correspondingly. So 2 into 1 minus 5k plus 5k plus 1 into 2 plus 3 into 4k minus 2 equal to 0, correct? So let us bring all the k elements together. So minus 10k from here, plus 10k from here and plus 12k, right? So that is equal to, from here we have 2 plus 2 and minus 6, right? So LHS is, these two are cancelling, 12k. RHS is 4 minus 6. 4 minus x is minus 2, right? So 12k. Pardon me, this should not be equal to, because everything is on one side itself. This should not be equal to, this should be plus, and this is equal to 0. Alright? So we have 12k and then plus 4 minus 6, right? So 12k minus 2 equal to 0, which means k is 1 by 6, right? K is 1 by 6. Okay? This identity you should be able to recognize. Alright? Okay. Let us proceed then. Matrix A is given by A is equal to 6, 11, 2 and 4. Alright? Then the determinant A raised to 2015 minus 6A raised to 2014 is what? Okay. So let us first start with figuring out determinant of A itself, right? Which means determinant of A would be 6, 11, 2, 4. This would be 24 minus 22, correct? Wait, since you are not comfortable yet, let us write in steps. 6 into 4 minus 2 into 11, right? So 24 minus 22, which is 2. Now we know mod A is 2. But what about the rest of the stuff, right? And mod of A raised to 2015 minus 6A raised to 2014, right? You see, this would be equal to mod of, all we have to do is take A raised to 2014 common. What is left then? A here, but A raised to 2014 is completely taken outside, no? Should I write just 6? Never do that. In matrices, you can never subtract just a number from a matrix. So that 6 also you have to convert it into matrix, which is 6i. Okay, so now do you realize that 6i is a matrix? Alright. Now here we know this is a matrix, this is a matrix. How do we proceed? Whenever in matrices and determinants, there is determinant of product of matrices, the determinant will split. So basically this becomes mod of A raised to 2014 into mod of A minus 6i. Okay, why? Since mod AB is mod A into mod B. This is a property of determinants, right? Okay, so that is equal to mod A raised to 2014 into mod of A minus 6i. Why? Because mod of any matrix multiplied n times is mod A multiplied n times. Okay, mod of A raised to n is mod A the whole raised to n, right? So this, of course, mod A, we have calculated mod A. How much is mod A? Mod A is 2. So this is 2 raised to 2014 mod of A minus 6i. So let us figure out mod of A minus 6i. Let us mark this as 1. A minus 6i is, A is 6, 11, 2, 4 minus 6i. Can you guess? It will be 6 in the diagonals, 0 everywhere else. That is what 6 into I will do, right? So subtract element by element. So this is the matrix. 6 minus 6 is 0, 11 minus 0 is 11, 2 minus 0 is 2, and 4 minus 6 is minus 2. Correct? So when you do A minus 6i, this is what we get. Which means mod of A minus 6i would be mod of this determinant 0, 11, 2, minus 2. This is actually 0 into minus 2 into 11. Right? So that simplifies to, this is 0 minus 22. Correct? This we will now substitute here. That's why we marked it as 1. So we will say substitute in 1, right? So A raised to, mod of A raised to 2015 minus 6 A raised to 2014. We said this is equal to, in 1 we simplified it to this much, 2 raised to 2014 into mod of this. So that is 2 raised to 2014 into mod of A minus 6i, which we simplified as minus 22, right? Minus 22. So take a 2 inside, we will have minus 11 remaining, 2 raised to 2015. Right? Minus 11 into 2 raised to 2015. Got it? Yes? Shall we proceed? Okay, let us do that then. if r square equal to a square plus b square plus c square, a square is ab plus bc plus ca, then mod of r square s square s square, s square r square s square, s square s square r square. Okay, so there is a pattern, there seems to be some pattern, we need to figure out how to simplify this. Okay, so we will start with saying delta is r square s square s square, s square r square s square, s square s square and r square. This is the delta, right? Let us use some of the basic properties we know to simplify this. Let us say C1 goes to C1 minus C2, right? C1 goes to C1 minus C2 and C2 goes to C2 minus C3. So what do we have? Delta would be, subtract this two, r square minus s square, s square minus r square and 0 here. Okay, then hold on, we may be complicating matters. Okay, let us see. Then C2 minus C3, so 0 here, r square minus s square, s square minus r square and s square r square. You see, in this column I can take r square minus s square common, right? Because this is negative of the same thing. Similarly here also. So we have r square minus s square the whole square into, I am taking r square minus s square common here. So 1 minus 1 0, then 0 1 minus 1 and s square r square. Right, what did we do here? Taking r square minus s square common from C1 and C2. That is what we did here. You see, now this is simple enough that we can actually evaluate this. Okay, so implies delta is equal to, we have r square minus s square the whole square into, evaluate this now, 1 into r square, okay, let us do this properly, 1 into, you see, 1 into r square minus 1 into s square, right? That is how we evaluate determinant, right? So this is r square minus s square the whole square into, now 1 we are evaluating, so 1 into r square minus 1 into s square, 1 into r square minus 1 into s square, okay, then minus 0 into anything, whatever it comes, doesn't matter, and then plus s square into minus 1 into minus 1, minus 0 into 1, right? Minus 1 into minus 1, minus 0 into 1, right? Okay, so this is r square minus s square the whole square into, what is this now? This becomes r square plus s square, right? Then minus 0, we can just ignore this term. What about this? This is s square into 1 minus 0, right? So plus s square. So this is basically r square minus s square the whole square into r square plus 2 s square. Correct? Alright, so now we have delta value. Now we have to replace these terms with this, right? So now we will say, substituting r square and s square, right? Delta is r square minus s square the whole square, right? So a square plus b square plus c square minus ab minus bc minus ca the whole square into r square plus 2a square. So a square plus b square plus c square plus 2ab plus 2bc plus 2ca, right? Check that. R square minus s square the whole square, so subtract them and square it, right? So r square minus s square the whole square. Then the next bracket was r square plus 2s square. So this is r square plus 2s square, right? But observe this carefully. The first bracket, let us leave it as it is. A square plus b square plus c square minus ab minus bc minus ca the whole square. What about the second bracket? Does it look familiar? A square plus b square plus c square plus 2ab plus 2bc plus 2ca. It is a plus b plus c the whole square. A plus b plus c the whole square. So now we have this square and this square. Multiply everything inside, right? So this is a plus b plus c into a square plus b square plus c square minus ab minus bc minus ca, this entire thing the whole square, right? Because this is first bracket square, second bracket square. I have taken brackets inside, taken square outside. But what is this product? This product is a cube plus b cube plus c cube minus 3abc. Okay? I hope you remember this is an identity, right? So I will just write identity. In short form, okay, you may have forgotten this since a cube plus b cube plus c cube minus 3abc is equal to a plus b plus c into a square plus b square plus c square minus ab minus bc minus ca. Okay, that's the identity. I've just written it down. This is just the square of that, right? So a cube plus b cube plus c cube minus 3abc the whole square. Do we have that? We have almost that, but 3abc minus a cube minus b cube minus c cube. But that is fine because this whatever is inside the bracket is exact negative of this. Correct? So we can write this the other way around also. Right? Which can also be written as three abc minus a cube minus b cube minus c cube the whole square. So which is why option 3 is correct. Got it? That's your answer. Yes? Okay? Alright, then let us proceed. Whoa, looks like a big question. If step denotes the greatest integer less than or equal to the real number under consideration and x lies between -1 to 0, y lies between 0 to 1, z lies between 1 to 2, then the value of the determinant, this entire determinant is what? Okay? So whenever such questions are given, it is best for you to actually figure out the value of step x, step y, step z. Okay? So we will start with that. Here x lies between -1 and 0 implies step x is what? Step x is -1, greatest integer less than or equal to x. So -1 and 0 less than or equal to y less than 1 implies step y is 0 and 1 less than or equal to z less than 2 implies step of z is 2. See, now because you have numbers, you can just directly substitute. Correct? Okay, this is not correct. I am sorry about that. Step z is not 2, step z is 1. Okay, the greatest integer less than z, less than or equal to. So step z is 1, which means delta now becomes step x plus 1. So minus 1 plus 1. Step y 0. Step z 1. Step x minus 1. Step y plus 1 0 plus 1. Step z 1. Step x minus 1. Step y 0. Step z plus 1 1 plus 1. Okay, see, now you know how to solve this, correct? That is, delta is equal to mod of minus 1 plus 1 is 0. Step y is 0. Step z is 1. Step x minus 1. Step y plus 1, 0 plus 1 is 1 only. Step z is 1. Step x minus 1. Step y 0. Step z plus 1. So 1 plus 1 2, right? Expand this determinant. This is equal to 0 into a lot of terms, because it is 0 into some terms, we don't need to worry about it. Minus 0 into other terms, forget it, plus 1 into, okay, 1 into what? Minus 1 into 0 minus minus 1 into 1, okay? So minus 1 into 0 minus minus 1 into 1, right? So, alright, the first two terms we can just ignore. The last term would be 1 into 0 minus minus 1, so plus 1. This is 1 only, correct? It is 1, but 1 is not there in the options. They are asking in terms of step x, step y and step z. 1 we know from all this is step z. Okay, we know step x, step y definitely not correct. Just verify also step x plus step y plus step z. Step x is minus 1 plus 0 plus 1. That gives you 0, which is not the answer, correct? Which is why step z is correct. Alright? Okay? Then let us proceed. A is equal to this given matrix, and mod A square is 25, then mod alpha is what? Okay. So we will start with the fact that we know that mod A square, mod A square we know is mod A the whole square, right? Determinant property. Since mod of AB is mod A mod B. Right? So let us figure out mod A first, which means, alright, and mod A is 5 5 alpha, alpha 0 alpha 5 alpha 0 0 5. Okay, quick word of caution here, don't try to expand along row 1. I mean, if you expand it you will still get the right answer, but do you recall that you can expand the determinant along any row or any column? So that is what we are going to do here. We will say expanding along, you should always expand along any row or column that has the maximum number of zeros. So expanding along C1. C1. So what do we have? Delta is equal to, or rather mod A is equal to five into alpha into 5 minus 0 into 5 alpha. Alpha into 5 minus 0 into 5 alpha. Right? And then minus 0 into a lot of numbers, and then plus 0 into another lot of numbers. Correct? But doesn't matter what numbers these are. So this is 5 into 5 alpha minus 0, 25 alpha. Right? So mark this as 1 and this as 2. Right? Given mod A square equal to 25, right? Now we will use 1 and 2 because mod A square we are going to replace it with mod A the whole square. It is helpful because now we don't have to do the matrix multiplication, right? So mod A the whole square, and mod A we know is 25 alpha, right? Which means mod A the whole square is 25. This is from 1. And mod A the whole square is 25 alpha the whole square is 25. This is from 2. Correct? So 25 alpha the whole square is 25. Now we just need to simplify this. 125 gets cancelled. So we have only 125 and alpha square is 1. Right? We are just cancelling 125. Which means alpha square is 1 by 25. Which means alpha is plus minus 1 by 5. Question is asking for mod alpha. Mod alpha is 1 by 5. Right? That's your answer. Yes? Shall we proceed? Alright, let's do that. X, Y, Z are all different, and if this given determinant is equal to 0, then 1 plus X, Y, Z is equal to what? Alright? So given determinant, given, let us call this delta equal to x square 1 plus x cube, y square 1 plus y cube, z square 1 plus z cube is equal to 0. Correct? Now, whenever we have a determinant in which the same number is added to any particular row or column, I hope you know this is the property of determinant, that we can split that row or column, right? So we will say splitting C3. What do we get? Delta would be x square 1. There won't be enough space. Okay, x square 1. Let us write there. Splitting along C3, delta is equal to mod of, right, the first one would be x square 1, right, x square 1. Or since we are splitting column wise, let us write columns first. So x, y, z, x square, y square, z square, and this column would be 1, 1, 1, right? What about that column? First two columns would be as it is, x, y, z. Second column as it is. Third column, of course, now would be x cube, y cube, z cube. Correct? Okay. So now we need to simplify these two determinants. Clearly in the second determinant, I hope you realize x and y and z can be taken as common, right? So equal to, let us write this as delta 1 plus delta 2. Okay? So now, delta 1 was x, y, z, x square, y square, z square, 1, 1, 1. Correct? Let us simplify this. So first, in general, when expanding determinants, if you are going to try and use any of the determinant properties, you should try and bring as many zeros as possible, because when there are zeros, it is easier to expand a determinant because there is so much calculation you don't have to do. Okay? So here, the best way to get zeros would be to subtract the rows, right? So we will say row 2 goes to row 2 minus row 1, and We should have done row 3 actually. It is always better. First change row 3. Row 3 goes to row 3 minus row 2 and row 2 goes to row 2 minus row 1. Okay? Let me clarify. Why didn't I take first row 2 goes to row 2 minus row 1? I need to do both of these transformations. Okay? Now if I do this first, then row 2 is already changed. Can you see that? If I do this, row 2 is already changed. If after this if I do this, then I have to use the changed row 2, which can be confusing. Which is why we will change row 3 first. Finish changing row 3. Once row 3 is changed, then you change row 2. Correct? That way none of the changed rows have to be used again. So doing this we get delta 1 is equal to x square 1, row 3 goes to row 3 minus row 2. So z minus y, z square minus y square, 0. What about row 2? Row 2 goes to row 2 minus row 1. So y minus x, y square minus x square, 0. Correct? So now we will say expanding along C1, C not 1, C3, third column, correct? Because then I have 1, 0, 0, right? Delta 1 is equal to 1 into, what do we have? Y minus x into z square minus y square minus z minus y into y square minus x square. Correct? So you see there is y minus x, z minus y, there is z minus y and y minus x also here, right? So let us take those two common, y minus x into z minus y. If I take that common, from here we will have z plus y minus from here we will have y plus x, right? Observe this now, y minus x, z minus y, y will get cancelled, z minus x, correct? So this is delta 2 is, sorry, not delta 2, delta 1 is equal to y minus x into z minus y into, what is the third bracket? Y will get cancelled, z minus x into z minus x, right? Now for our convenience, let us make it x minus y, y minus z, because then z minus x, it becomes a one cycle, right? So this is x minus y into y minus z into z minus x. Okay? In fact, you should realize by now after some calculations that whenever you have 1x, x square, 1y, y square, 1z, z square, that product will automatically become this. Okay, so let us just leave it here. This is delta 1, right? Mark this as result number. If we are marking this as 1, let us mark that as result 2. Okay, and delta 2 is what? X, y, z, x square, y square, z square, x cube, y cube, z cube, right? This is x into y into z. You see, I am taking x common from first row, y common from second row, z common from third row. So x, y, z, right? What are we left with? 1x, x square, 1y, y square, 1z, z square. Correct? What did we do? Taking x from R1, y from R2, z from R3. Okay, we took those common. Now this determinant, you have to realize, is the same as delta 1, right? So this is basically x, y, z into delta 1, right? Why is that the case? Now I want you to recall that in delta 1, there was a slight mismatch in the columns. x, y, z, x square, y square, z square, 1, 1, 1, right? Since delta 1 is x, y, z, x square, y square, z square, 1, 1, 1. What if I interchange the second and third columns and then interchange the first and second columns? This is C2 interchange with C1. No. C3 interchange with C2. C3 interchange with C2. Okay, these two, and then C2 interchange with C1. So we get delta 1 is 1, 1, 1 x, y, z, x square, y square, z square. Correct? In fact, over time you will be able to recognize this determinant immediately. So then delta 2 is, which is exactly what we have here, 1 x, y, see 1, 1, 1 x, y, z, x square, y square, z square, 1, 1, 1 x, y, z, x square, y square, z square. Correct? Therefore, wait, we need to mark this also, that delta 2 is x, y, z, delta 1, mark this as result 3, right? Now let us bring everything together. 1 said delta is delta 1 plus delta 2. 2 said delta 1 is x minus y, y minus z, z minus x. 3 said delta 2 is x, y, z, delta 1, right? Which means delta is delta 1 plus x, y, z, delta 1, which is 1 plus x, y, z into delta 1. One plus x, y, z into delta 1, right? Which is 1 plus x, y, z into x minus y, y minus z, z minus x. Correct? This is given to be 0. Right? Now, which means 1 plus x, y, z must be 0, or x equal to y, y equal to z, z equal to x. But x, y, z are different, right? It is also given x is not equal to y, not equal to z, which means 1 plus x, y, z must be 0. Correct? X is not equal to y, not equal to z, so none of these things are equal. Therefore, 1 plus x, y, z must be 0. None of these terms are 0. Correct? And basically that is what the question is asking, 1 plus x, y, z. 0 is your answer. Nice and happy. Okay, it looks like a lot of work to get 0, but because you are doing this for the first time, okay, in reality, next time when you are doing this, you will be able to mentally calculate that first we need to split it here. Once you split it here, then you will have x square 1, y square. You will know that, okay, you know what, this is x minus y into y minus z into z minus x. Then the next column, after splitting, you will know that, okay, I can take x outside, y outside, z outside. Then you will realize once again it is the same determinant. Then you can recall that, okay, you know what, we will have x, y, z there and 1 here. I can bring 1 plus x, y, z common. Rest of it is the factorized expression. Directly you will be able to write this. Honestly, with practice, directly you will come to this expression. Okay, with practice. Alright? Okay, let us proceed then. If mod of 1413 plus mod of half 4 1 by 3 3, then mod of 1 by 4 4 1 by 9 3, etc. is equal to. Okay, so let us start with 1413. This is clearly 1 into 3 minus 1 into 4, 3 minus 4. Don't simplify it, hold it right there. This one, half 4 1 by 3 3 equal to This would be 3 into half minus 4 into 1 by 3. Correct? Then this is half square, no? 1 by 4. Then 4. This is 1 by 3 square, 3. This is equal to 3 into half square minus 4 into 1 by 3 square, and so on, right? And so on. Which means, given expression is actually equal to sum of all this. Can you see there is a pattern emerging? Degree of half and degree of power of half and power of 1 by 3 is going to keep increasing. 3 into 1 plus half square plus half cube and so on till infinity, minus 4 into 1 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 square plus 1 by 3 cube and so on till infinity. Right? Now clearly this is an infinite GP, another infinite GP. Let us just simplify those GPs first, right? So mark this as step number 1. Okay. Now we know that 1 plus half square and all up to infinity is now let us write the formula first. I am not sure whether you recall the formula. We know that A plus AR square and all till infinity, this is A upon 1 minus R whenever mod R is less than 1. Okay, this is the formula for infinite GP, which means 1 plus half square and all up to infinity would be A is 1 upon 1 minus, this is half, 1 minus half is half and 1 by half is 2. Right, so this sum is 2, and what about 1 plus 1 by 3 square and so on? This one would be 1 by 1 minus 1 by 3. Correct? A by 1 minus R. So that is 1 minus 1 by 3 is 2 by 3. So 1 by 2 by 3. So this is 3 by 2. Correct? Let us substitute. I should not have circled this. Don't circle this. But I should mark this result as result number 2 and result number 3. Right? So we will say substitute 2 and 3 in 1. Right? Because in 1 we need those two GPs, right? So given expression is equal to 3 into given expression is equal to 3 into the first GP. What is the first GP? 2 minus 4 into the second GP. Second GP is 3 by 2. Right, which is 6 minus 12 by 2, which is also 6. This simplifies to 6 minus 6, 0. Another nice and happy 0. Okay, got it? Yes? Alright then, let us proceed. If x raised to a y raised to b is equal to e raised to m, x raised to c y raised to d is equal to e raised to n, delta 1 is this determinant, delta 2 is given, delta 3 is given, then the values of x and y are, and we need to find values of x and y in terms of delta 1, delta 2 and delta 3. Okay? Alright. So, from the given expressions, right, it is given x raised to a, y raised to b is equal to e raised to m, mark it as 1, and x raised to t, c, y raised to d is equal to e raised to n, mark it as 2, right? From taking log on both sides, right? One would give you a log x plus b log y is equal to m, correct? I hope you know this properties of log. Log of x raised to a is a log x, log of y raised to b is b log y, plus log of, whenever you multiply two numbers, their logs will add, right? And 2 implies c log x plus d log y is equal to n, right? Okay, so we will write this as, write log x, we are going to write log x as some capital X, log y as some capital Y. So then these equations will become what? Ax plus by is equal to m, then c capital X plus d capital Y is equal to n. Now can you see these are linear equations in two unknowns x and y, right? So because there are two equations, two unknowns, I hope you recall Cramer's rule. I mean, of course you know how to solve it using other methods, but we will deliberately apply Cramer's rule because we want to bring in determinants, right? So we will say solving using Cramer's rule we have capital X upon one determinant is equal to capital Y upon another determinant is equal to y by one determinant, right? Now what are those determinants? Now for X we will always have C1, C2, B1, B2, right? So M, N and B, D. Okay, what about this? For Y we will have A1, A2, C1, C2. So A, C, M, N. And below 1 you will have A1, A2, B1, B2. I hope that you know. So A, B, C and D. So this is just applying Cramer's rule. But now you match with what we are given. MNBD is there. AMCN is there. ABCD is also there, right? Which means capital X upon delta 1 is equal to capital Y upon delta 2 is equal to 1 by delta 3, correct? Therefore, capital X is delta 1 by delta 3, capital Y is delta 2 by delta 3, correct? So, is that in the options? Yes, we do have delta 1 by delta 2, delta 3, delta 2 by delta 3, therefore this is the correct answer, right? No, not right, because x and y are not your unknowns, small x and small y, these are capital X and capital Y, we are still looking for small x and small y. So go back now, back substitute. We will say log of small x equal to delta 1 by delta 3 and log of small y is equal to delta 2 by delta 3, right? Which means x is e raised to delta 1 by delta 3 and small y is e raised to delta 2 by delta 3. Got it? So e raised to delta 1 by delta 3 and e raised to delta 2 by delta 3 are your solution, right? That is your answer. Got it? Yeah? Okay, then let us proceed. If this given determinant equal to 0, then x is equal to what? Okay, this question seems fairly straightforward. delta is equal to AX M BXB is equal to 0. Right? Okay. One thing we can expand it, right? Or because there seems to be some pattern, let us try and use the properties. So the best way to use the properties would be, you see AM are repeated, so just subtract these two. And between these two only M is repeated, so not very helpful to subtract. But if you, between C1 and C3, M and B are both repeated, right? So the best thing to do would be subtract, go C2 minus C1 and C3 minus C1, right? So C2 goes to C2 minus C1, C3 goes to C3 minus C. So we will have delta equal to mod of C1 is as it is, A, M and B. What about C2? C2 minus C1. So 0, 0, X minus B and C3 minus C1. C3 minus C1. So X minus A, 0 and 0 equal to 0. Right? Now again you can expand whichever you want, but always expand along any row or column that has the maximum number of zeros. So let us expand along our C3, right? So expanding along C3, we have delta is equal to X minus A into X minus A into M into X minus B into 0. M into X minus B into 0, right? After that, minus 0 into some numbers plus 0 into other numbers. This entire thing is equal to 0, correct? So I can ignore these two parts. I can also ignore B into 0, right? What is left? We are left with M into X minus A into X minus B equal to 0, right? Therefore, from this, we can get X is A or B, correct? X is A or B. That's it, right? Okay. Let us proceed then. Find the determinant of A is equal to 1 minus 3 1. We just need to find determinant of A, right? So delta would be 1 minus 3 1. This determinant is 1 into 1 minus 3 into minus 1, which is 1 minus 3, which is minus 2. Okay. A lot of the students, while doing this, especially when it's a 3 by 3 determinant, they get confused when there is a minus minus minus. Okay. If you get confused like that, it is better to write it down. Yeah, just be careful about that. All right. Then find it. Okay, we have done this. Find the determinant of this matrix. All right. So delta would be this determinant 1 minus 1 2 3 0 4 minus 4 minus 2 and 5, right? Okay, so this is 1 into, I'm just expanding along R1, so 1 into 0 into 5, now let's not use dots, so 0 into 5 minus 2 into 4, then minus 1, be careful again because there is minus 1 and because minus of the position also, we are trying to find the cofactors, right? So minus 1 into 3 into 5 minus 4 into 4 plus 2 into 3 into minus 2, 3 into minus 2 minus 4 into 0. That is the expansion of this determinant. Let us evaluate it now. This is 1 into, this is 0 plus 8. So 1 into 8 minus 1 1 into 8 minus, this is minus of minus 1, so plus 1 into 8 plus 16, right? 8 plus, sorry, not 8, this is, pardon me, 15, not 8. After doing so much of algebra, sometimes we get weak in arithmetic. So, 3 into 5 is 15. And then minus 4 into minus 4 is 16, right? And then plus 2 into, this is minus 6, minus 0. So, only minus 6, right? So, we have 8 plus 31 minus 12. So, that is 39 minus 12. That is 27. Got it? 27. Just expansion of the determinant, right? But you need to practice that a lot. Okay. Let us proceed then. Right. Find the determinant of the following matrix. So, delta would be mod of 2, 1, 1 minus 5. This is 2 into minus 5 minus 1 into 1, right? So, minus 10 minus 1 is minus 11. Determinant value is minus 11, alright? Okay. Right, find the determinant of this other matrix. So, delta is mod of 4, 5 minus 6, 2, right? This is 4 into 2 minus 6 into 5. So, 8 plus 30 equal to 38. Yeah? Straightforward only, no? I mean, these are academic questions, so these are more for your practice. Yeah? Alright. Let us proceed then. Okay, if ABC are positive and unequal, show that the value of this determinant delta, ABC, BCA, CAB is negative. Alright. So, we have delta is equal to ABC, BCA and CAB, right? Let us expand along R1. Delta would be A into BC minus A square, correct? BC minus A square minus B into B square minus AC, correct? A into BC minus A square minus B into B square minus AC plus C into AB minus C square, right? So, that is, you see, there is ABC plus ABC plus ABC. So, we have 3 ABC terms and then minus A cube, minus B cube and minus C cube, right? So, minus A cube, minus B cube, minus C cube. Does this look familiar? I hope it looks familiar to you, because this is equal to minus of A cube plus B cube plus C cube minus 3ABC, right? And we have done a question like this. In fact, here is a little trick for you. Memorize this and be ready to identify this identity when it comes to a determinants question, right? This is called the circulant determinant or circulant matrix, where all the elements are cycling basically and its value will always be this, okay? Now, I hope you remember its factorization. This is minus of A plus B plus C into A square plus B square plus C square minus AB minus BC minus CA, alright? That is its factorization. We have figured this out. The question says that ABC are positive and unequal. We need to show that this is negative. Now, for this entire thing to be negative, we have to show that, see, there is a minus outside already, which means we have to show that both the brackets are negative or both brackets are positive. But ABC are positive, which means A plus B plus C is also positive, which means now we need to show that A square plus B square plus C square minus AB minus BC minus CA. We need to show that that is positive, okay? So, we will mark this as equation 1, alright? Now, we will just look at this third bracket. we are going to consider, let us call this E. E for expression. Consider the expression a square plus b square plus c square plus c square minus ab minus bc minus ca. Okay. Now how do I decide whether it is positive or negative? Okay. I hope you have done this in one of the earlier classes. Even if you have not done, you see, one of the best ways to decide whether anything is positive or negative is to bring in perfect squares, because if there are perfect square, we can be sure that those terms at least are non-negative. Now I have a square plus b square. If I had but I have minus ab. If I had minus 2ab, I could have made it into a perfect square, correct? So just because I have made a 2ab, let us multiply the whole thing with 2. Alright? So we will say 2e is equal to 2a square plus 2b square plus 2c square minus 2ab minus 2bc minus 2ca, right? Which is, see, there is a minus 2ab, so if I have a square and a b square, I can make it a perfect square. So write this as a square minus 2ab plus b square, then plus b square minus 2bc plus c square plus c square minus 2ac plus a square. What is there anything else remaining? We have, see, minus 2ab minus 2bc minus 2ca terms we have brought in. What about the rest? You have a square and a square, b square and b square, c square and c square. So perfectly we have used all of the terms, right? Which is a minus b the whole square plus b minus c the whole square plus c minus a the whole square. Correct? Because this is sum of perfect squares, this must be greater than or equal to 0. Sum of perfect squares, right? Which means 2e is greater than or equal to 0, which means e is greater than or equal to 0, but a, b, c are unequal. It is given in the question. Unequal, right? A, B, C are unequal. Now if A, B, C are unequal, that means at least one of these terms is not 0, right? If they are all unequal, then none of them are 0, which means strictly it cannot be 0, which means E is strictly positive, right? And delta, let us now use and from result 1. I hope that was result 1 only. Yeah, that was result 1. Delta is equal to minus of a plus b plus c into E, correct? Because we started with saying that E is that expression a square plus b square plus c square minus ab minus bc minus ca, right? So delta is this entire expression, right? Here a, b, c, e are all greater than 0, right? Because question says they are positive or unequal. Positive means strictly positive and E is also positive, which means the sum will be positive, which means delta is minus of a positive number into positive number, so delta is strictly negative, right? The only conclusion would be delta is strictly negative for all ABC. Whatever be the value of ABC, delta would be strictly negative. What is the condition? ABC must be positive and unequal. If they are not unequal, then we will keep in mind that delta could be 0 also. We just have to keep that in mind. Alright? Okay, this is a very interesting determinant. Remember this result. Whatever we did in this question, remember that. Alright? Okay. Let us proceed then. This is hence proved. Okay. Prove that this determinant is independent of theta. Alright? So given delta is equal to x sine theta cos theta minus sin theta minus x 1 cos theta 1 and x. Okay, this is the determinant. Expanding, let us expand along R1. What do we get? Delta would be x into minus x into x minus 1 into 1, right? See, x into x minus 1 into 1. Then minus sin theta into x. So minus sin theta into x and then minus cos theta into 1, right? And then plus cos theta into minus sin theta into 1 minus, let us write the last term there, minus cos theta into minus x. Okay, that is delta, right? Let us simplify that. This is x into minus x into x is minus x square and then minus 1. Okay, then minus sin theta into, we have minus x sin theta minus cos theta, correct? Can you see that? Minus x sin theta into minus cos theta. So can you take minus 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 outside? So it becomes plus into x sin theta plus cos theta, right? Okay. What about this? This is cos theta into minus sin theta minus x cos theta, right? So if I take minus outside, minus cos theta into, this becomes sin theta plus x cos theta, right? Now expand it. So then this becomes minus x cube plus x. Sorry, minus x cube minus x minus x cube minus x plus x sin square theta plus sin theta cos theta minus cos theta sin theta plus x cos square theta, correct? Now you see sin theta cos theta minus cos theta sin theta will get cancelled. What is left? Which means delta is equal to, what is left? Minus x cube minus x minus x cube minus x, then plus x. You see these two terms are going to get cancelled. Let us just cancel them. So plus x into sin square theta plus cos square theta plus x into sin square theta plus cos square theta, and we know that is 1, right? So this is minus x cube minus x square plus x. What does the question say? We need to show that it is independent of theta. This is independent of theta. Hence proved. Yeah? Got it? Okay, let us proceed then. Okay, without expanding the determinant, prove this, alright? Let us see if there is any pattern. We have ABC, A square, B square, C square, BC, CA, AB. With BC, CA, AB, it will be very clear that if I had an A there, if I had a B there, if I had a C there, all three would be equal, correct? We keep that in mind. On this side we have 1, 1, 1, A square, B square, C square, A cube, B cube, C cube. There is definitely a pattern, okay? So we will start with LHS. LHS is A, B, C, A square, B square, C square, BC, CA, AB, right? Now we will say multiplying and dividing. What did I say? I need an A here, B here and C here. Like, so in general, as a rule in problem solving, whatever you need, bring it. You are free to bring in whatever you need, but make sure you nullify it elsewhere, right? So if you are adding something, subtract it. If you are multiplying something, divide it. Be sure to do that. Okay, so multiplying and dividing, we need an A here, right? So A with R1, sorry, A with R1, B with R2, C with R3. What do we get? We will have delta is multiplying and dividing, meaning dividing the numbers outside and multiplying them inside. So 1 by A into 1 by B into 1 by C, right? I am dividing and now multiply with A with R1, right? So A square, A cube, ABC, right? A square, A cube, ABC. B square, B cube, again ABC, because if I bring in B here, CAB is ABC. Here, C square, C cube, ABC. C square, C cube, ABC, right? Okay. Now I can take ABC outside. That was the plan all along, right? So we'll say taking ABC from C3, what do we get? We are taking that common, no? Delta would be ABC upon ABC into, you see we already had one by ABC outside. That ABC will take out, this ABC goes outside into the numerator, correct? So ABC upon ABC into, we had A square, A cube 1, B square, B cube 1, C square, C cube 1. You see, this now looks almost like RHS, but the columns are not arranged properly. So let's do that. If I interchange column 2 and column 1, then A cube, B cube, C cube will come, it's the right position, but 1 will be in the middle. Then interchange 1 and 2 again, column 1 and column 2. Then 1 and 1 will come here, A square, B square, C square will come in the center, right? So I need 2 interchanges, right? So we will say apply, first apply column 3 exchanges with column 1 and not column 1, column 2. Column 3 exchanges with column 2 and column 2 exchanges with column 1, right? So we have delta equal to ABC upon ABC, let us keep it as it is, into minus into 1 1 1, A square, B square, C square, A cube, B cube, C cube. Correct? Why minus and minus? Because whenever you are interchanging 2 rows, you should always put a 2 rows or 2 columns, you should always put a minus outside. But there are 2 minuses outside, they will cancel themselves. Right? This is basically 1 into plus into RHS, which is RHS itself. Correct? Got it. You see, 1 A square, A cube, 1 B square, B cube, 1 C square, C cube, right? So often, first this is hence proved. Often, questions like these, you really have to ask, what is the pattern? What can I do to make it more symmetric? Right? Questions like these are very helpful in problem solving, right? Here it was our observation that if I had an A here, B here, C here, life will get easier. So we brought in and then we removed it out. So, got it? Yeah? So that is the proof. Right? So we have reached the end of this session. Thank you.